Good morning, noon, afternoon, evening, nighttime to everyone. Yes, isn't this amazing how we can reach everyone and who's willing to watch or pay some attention to you or whatever all around the world when you do this? Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I have to remember, well, it is morning here, but other places, yes, okay. Uh, Had another amazing day yesterday with all the grandchildren. Thank God my granddaughter was on the last day. Actually, we didn't give her the last day of antibiotics. It was just, you could just tell she was declining from day one in a way. And again, it's not like she had a serious reaction to it, but you could tell this brand new little 1 year old body of a human being, first time on synthetic antibiotics, and it was just creating havoc in her system. She would get sluggish right after she would get it for about a couple hours. Then it kind of evened out. Her bowel movements definitely were, not I can't say not normal, just numerous for to start with, and you could tell she's starting to have diarrhea, which is not a good sign when you take antibiotics. It happens, but and it just so sad, and yet probably could have treated that time differently. But as I said, it looked pretty bad. Was there really another choice? Yeah, I could have tried my antibiotics, right, for her, but I'm not the parent. I do not make these kind of decisions for someone else's child. Yes? Well, anyway, it worked. Her thumb is perfectly fine now. And hopefully she'll get back on the mend. She became the last couple of days, she was so clingy. She really missed mom. You could just tell that she was not feeling well, was trying. She's a very happy child. Very happy, very verbal, very busy, and definitely something in her body. You could tell she was just not feeling well. Anyway, it's over. Now she's on acidophilus, one tablet a day. Again, got to make sure don't shoot too much of that stuff into a little body either. Do it controlled and make sure you read up on it. Yes. And so I'm hoping. And also, her eating was not. She loves fruit and cheese, and you could tell she'd eat 2 or 3 pieces of blueberries, and then the little container she has with a top. She can put her fingers in, but the stuff doesn't come out. Just flew. I'm trying to teach her to bring it to me and not just throw things like that. uh, so the next few days I'll be with her by myself. It's 4th of July week, yes, and uh, all my other grandchildren are going with my oldest daughter and her husband to Kings Island, yes, to have fun. So, so they're gone, and no one else will be here, just the little one and I. And I think it's a great time for her to really get the rest she needs for her body to recuperate from these antibiotics, and get enough sleep. Yes, that had been another thing. 45 minutes, she'd be up again. You could just tell you did not sleep enough. It's just not working. This is not. So, yes, it took care of the thumb, but boy, did it otherwise really, really mess with her system. And found out too, the antibiotics that she got. I was always under the impression that the first antibiotic you get uh, as a child, even an adult, is amoxicillin. So supposedly the weakest one, and they gave her a really strong one, and maybe that one of the reasons. Oh, then I found out we have a measles outbreak here in Kentucky. I don't know if I already mentioned that. Supposedly it's on and off all around the United States. But it's nice. Again, here it goes. I saw that on here. Went over to my daughters and said, "Hey, by the way, in our county we have the most cases here. So beware. Yes, especially if you've decided not to vaccinate your children, uh, or are not vaccinated as an adult. As far as I know, getting the measles as an adult is not fun. Just like with chickenpox, and for children, I don't know. It used to be just a childhood disease, but measles, as far as I know, are way more detrimental to the system to get that disease, even for a child, than chickenpox is. So anyway, so everybody's on the alert, which just means, don't hug everyone out there. Just okay. Just for a little while. So what's the big deal, right? Yes, be cautious so that the disease doesn't spread. And if you have unvaccinated children, maybe keep them away from newborns, this and that, just in case. Just in case, right? Yes? It's that teamwork makes the dream work. These diseases are still out there, cruising around. But if we are a bit sensible about them and use some common sense rather than be so doggone selfish and think you own the world, it isn't such a big deal. Okay, anyway, I had to say that. Yes, of course you have to say that. All right, we are in the book of Ecclesiasticus 3. Duties towards parents. Oh, which brings me, reminded me, yesterday I had to take the boys, right? And make them aware. I say, hey, wait a minute. You guys have a way of back talking, and I get it. They feel free to do that with me, because but they also know that. Well, of course he doesn't like something. She'll set us down. We're gonna get a lecture, right? They don't fear that either. So they're willing to learn. So again, I've got to look at it from the positive side, where I'm going, well, at least they are doing that to someone that then is willing to take the time, set them down, and say, okay, this is the reason why this is wrong, right? Yes, and when it is acceptable, right? They don't know the difference yet of just explaining something to you when something and just back talking. Yes, they don't know really the difference yet. It's just all the same to them. So I kind of explained to them when it is acceptable to say, oh, Grozy, we need to talk about that. And that's another. I said, hey, Grozy, we need to talk about that. Right? And when it is, when you just say, yes, ma'am. Right? Yes? Okay. So here we go. Right? Duties towards parents. Children, listen to me, for I am your father. Do what I tell you, and so be safe. For the Lord honors the father above his children, and upholds the rights of a mother over her sons. Oh, I definitely have to share this video to this group, which, by the way, okay, is the positive group. Oh, I'm going to say this one more time for the ones out there who seem to be, oh, what? Wait a minute. What did I just say? They need to be sat down and told the difference between, okay. Here, for the Lord honors the father above his children and upholds the rights of a mother over her sons. Ah, well, that's interesting. I've got to mark this. I have to mark this. Absolutely have to mark this. I have been keeping my mouth shut pretty nicely and tried and not to be goaded into responding to some people. Okay, in a group again. In these groups. To explain just quick, who are atrocious to true mother. Just atrocious behavior. Anyway, so I gotta mark this. Alrighty, I had a feeling I'd get along with this Ecclesiasticus Ben Sarah just fine on most things. I have to read it one more time. For the Lord honors the father above his children and upholds the rights of a mother over her sons. Well, there we go. Whoever respects a father expiates sins. Whoever honors a mother is like someone amassing a fortune. Whoever respects a father will in turn be happy with children. The day he prays for help, he will be heard. Long life comes to anyone who honors a father. Whoever obeys the Lord makes a mother happy. Such a one serves parents as well as the Lord. Respect your father in deed as well as word, so that blessing may come on you from him. Since a father's blessing makes his children's house firm, while a mother's curse tears up its foundations. Do not make a boast of disgrace overtaking your father. Your father's disgrace reflects no honor on you. For a person's own honor derives from the respect shown to his father, and a mother held in dishonor is a reproach to her children. Also, not to forget, duties towards parents. This isn't husband and wife stuff here. This has to do with parents and children, okay? Yes? Yeah, some people will take this again and turn it around into whatever they want to. I have to say, is this? Well, we have a commandment. One of the commandments says, Thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. Yes? Okay. Well, you don't like it, take it up with God. I didn't make that rule, but I like it. Why do I like it? I am a parent. Yes, children need to be guided, not just raised as little hoodlums and self-serving individuals. Yes? Okay. My child, support your father in his old age. Do not grieve him during his life. Even if his mind should fail, show him sympathy. Do not despise him in your health and strength. For kindness to a father will not be forgotten, but will serve as reparation for your sins. On your own day of ordeal, God will remember you. Like frost and sunshine, your sins will melt away. Whoever deserts a father is no better than a blasphemer, and whoever distresses a mother is accursed of the Lord. Wow. Okay. That's an amazing part. I can't say anything against it. Again, yes, what are we talking about here? Right? Just any father, any mother? Yeah? All right. Does that need to be explained? I don't think so. Yes? Yeah. Don't lay sins at a father's feet or a mother's feet that aren't theirs, yet entirely of your own making as a child. Once you grow up and are an adult, the lamenting and whining that I hear out there of adults on how they grew up and this and that, and they were misunderstood. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Own up to your own stuff. Yes? There's some things that kind of follow you. But most of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, people lamenting and whining out there. I don't care. I really don't. Don't need to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Sick of it. Yes, make something out of your life. Which brings me to, okay, if I remember it, I will mention it at the end. Let's see, we're already at 14 minutes. I better keep going. Humility. My child, be gentle in carrying out your business, and you will be better loved than a lavish giver. The greater you are, the more humbly you should behave, and then you will find favor with the Lord. For great though the power of the Lord is, he accepts the homage of the humble. It isn't just being humble. I think being humble also, when one tries to be humble, I'm not always humble. I don't always have it in me. I'm a pretty verbal, very, I get excited easily over wanting justice and fairness and this and that, but staying humble about it gives you time to step back right? And reflect before you react. Yes, that's a very hard lesson for me to learn growing up, because once I got out of that quiet stage that I was in as a child, my nose always in a book, boy, did I wake up, right? Yes, yeah, from one extreme to the other, kind of, yeah, I kind of happened that way, and I had to find the balance. Yes, yeah. So yes, I absolutely agree. I cannot disagree with this one. Do not try to understand things that are too difficult for you, or try to discover what is beyond your powers. And then on top of that, go and look, okay, I'm not getting this, right? And then end up with someone who's giving you a direction that, yep, again, just wait. If you really truly want the answer to something, oh wow, this is too hard for me to understand, study it yourself. Don't just go and get some opinion and some idea from somewhere else, including here from my videos. I'm doing this for the reputation of God, because many things that I have read in here so far, in more in depth, right? I very much disagree that people just lay their burdens at God's feet and say, "Oh, He did that. We didn't do it. We just followed the command of war. We just followed, that these people can't be here. This, we just followed, okay, the rumors and the gossip, but it was all actually, right, put in place by God, which isn't true. Absolutely not true. That God would love one people more than another. I don't believe that, and I will never believe that. Also, well, okay, so I would have to say, yeah, children who honor their parents, out there is a set of parents out there that's completely perfect, but they're trying. Most parents are trying, okay? It brings God joy when He sees the children appropriately behaving towards their parents. Yes? But then in the end it says, if you as a child, I think there too. When you're children, okay, then growing up, there is always a door open to make it right, I believe. And I believe that because I feel I do know my Heavenly Parent, as my Heavenly Parent knows me as a father or as a mother. Yes? Okay. So again, right, is it just, oh, then this finality, like we read at the end there? No. But as a whole, I understand it. I'm not going to pull it out of context. Yes? Yeah. There. Make a big old discussion out of it. Concentrate on what has been assigned you, and have no need to worry over mysteries. You have no need to worry over mysteries. Do not meddle with matters that are beyond you. What you have been taught already exceeds the scope of the human mind, for many have been misled by their own notions, wicked presumptions, having warped their judgment. So read that last one more time, because that is true. Wicked presumptions, having warped their judgment. Presumption. Wicked presumptions. Yes, do warp one's judgment. All right, next. Pride. A stubborn heart will come to a bad end, and whoever dallies with danger will perish in it. Oh, wow, this is just perfect to, as well, here it is. I always say to it, okay, you want to use the Bible for your gossip, rumors, bad intentions, your own self-serving agenda? Well, here it is. Beware, because most likely the Bible, yes, I do believe that too. I'm not just criticizing, a constructive criticism and what's going on in here. I'm criticizing man in here, not God. I do believe, and I said that before, if you look, you have to, it's like a puzzle going through a maze, right? You have to find God's word. Yes? Yeah. That's fun too. Well, seem to be enjoying it on my 999th video. If I get to it tomorrow, guess what that will be? I'm just blown away. What? I made how many videos? That's amazing. All right. And whoever dallies, let's read that one more time. A stubborn heart will come to a bad end. I don't know that. Do they come to a bad end? A stubborn heart come to a bad end? I don't know that, and I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, that's how it's going to be. I believe that should not be in here, right? But, and whoever dallies with danger will perish in it. Most people who dally in danger don't perish in it either. Oftentimes, a lot of innocent people perish in it with someone else dilly-daddling in danger, right? Yeah, endangering others. All right. Many ways one can take this, but yes, I'd say many things that are happening out there with people or people are doing, almost looking for trouble. Yes, if you're looking for trouble, most likely trouble will find you. There's another one there. I like that one a little better than how it is here. A stubborn heart is weighed down with troubles. The sinner heaps sin on sin. For the disease of the proud there's no cure, since an evil growth has taken root there. Okay, there's no cure. Okay, I disagree. I said there's always an open door. That original mind is in all of us. A little more present than in others, but it's always there. Hence, I do not believe that there's no cure for any of that. That people are entirely lost and will face damnation of eternity in spirit world. I don't believe that. There is restoration possible for everyone. Pride does stand in the way of that. Hence, pride has to be conquered within oneself. The heart of the sensible will reflect on parables. Isn't that what I'm doing? An attentive ear is the sage's dream. All right. That is the end of 3. Wow, this was a good one. I really like this one. Well, yeah. So much good to, reflect on and talk and support, right? There's a lot of stuff that I could support here. Oh, not just because I'm reading this just at the right time, because of the infighting going on within our own movement. Yes? Infighting. You know what? It says I don't even get that. I don't even understand that. I don't get it. People so torn about something again. Is it really your business? Don't you have enough to do in your own family? Yes? To go and have to harp around on something that I personally, again, can't people see the bigger picture? Yes? I don't know, and how people would feel like if, suddenly here I come, well, I have things to say about your family. I'm going to come in and I'm going to tear things apart. I don't really know you, but, I know enough. And supposedly you've said some things, so I'm going to go by that. I'm not going to come first and ask directly, face to face. Did you say that? Is this what was actually said? I asked True Father many times, Father, did you really say that? And Father just kind of shakes his head. In spirit world. Is this how you meant it? And every time, this is the answer that I get. And you know what? You can believe it or not. I'm supposed to believe all this stuff out there everybody's getting from True Father, from Spirit World. Well, I'll tell you this. The answer I get every time, I haven't asked in a long time. I don't need to anymore. How many times do I want to go and ask True Father, did you really say that? Well, that was wrong. Did you really do that? This is the answer that I get every time. And that should tell someone something. Everybody something. He says, I stand by my wife. I stand by true mother. I stand by the blessing that God initiated in 1960, the change of lineage from Satan's back to God. Now, there. That's what I get every time it goes to, don't try to, it's almost as if when I've in the past asked, Father, what is that? And then, of course, I learned pretty quickly that the translations often aren't right. Oh, or I would watch a video where Father would say, supposedly had said something, I'm going, I'm not finding it. Even in the translations, what has he supposedly said? And I didn't find it in the context that then it was presented out there, again, for someone's selfish agenda. And I'm going, that's not what he meant at all. Not if you listen to the whole thing. Right? Yes? So, pulling a dead person, a spirit in spirit world, into people's agenda here, because they full well know that nobody can go and really ask Father now, hey, by the way. But every time, what I got back, every time, it was the same thing. I was literally put, don't step out of the shoes of what you are, like it said, what you are assigned to, for, what you're here for. Stick with what you need to do when it comes to all that. Don't stick your nose in someone else's business. Because most likely, you're not going to do any good. You're going to create more havoc. If there is any havoc to be had, even. Right? As far as I know, everything's going just fine there. And now I remembered what I wanted to say. What else I wanted to say? About the way that people have been treating Damien Dunkley. Again, on certain people. You need, please stop. That is an amazing young man. Not per se young man. Not to me, I guess he's kind of young. And he has done amazing stuff. And his fervor and zest for true parents and the path of restoration for mankind according to God's will and ideal, in my opinion, is amazing. And should be supported. I support it. And just because there's some kind of a sale going on now of some kind of a church, by the way, I'd like to give a little testimony there. While I went up to Washington to get my passport plus some other things I was doing at that time, I ended up at that church. It was the wrong one. I was supposed to meet another pastor. It was in Maryland, but I didn't figure that out. I figured because that's what I saw, that's what that other pastor was affiliated with, that's where we go. We found the church. I was very disappointed. That was a few years ago. I was very disappointed what the church looked like from the outside. It was unkept. I'm going, my goodness, we're the chosen ones. We're the change of lineage. This is supposed to be a church of our heavenly parent, true parents, our whole movement, the Family Federation for World Peace already at that time. And what does this front yard look like? Unloved. So unloved. Okay? I was so disappointed. I was like, whoa, this is already starting out good. But, so of course you couldn't go in the front. There was this church looked so uninviting you wouldn't even believe. Okay? So basically there's a building, and that was what for? I guess Sunday for a couple of hours on Sunday for a Sunday service. Nothing else was going on there otherwise. Couldn't see a thing. Not even a mouse. Okay. So we go knock on the door, wait for quite some time. I was going, wow, this is taking a long time. How do they, don't they have people? And, what if people come here and say, hey, I heard about your parents. So it took a long time for them to get to the door. They opened the door and kind of looked at us like, who the heck are you? Yeah. And I'm going, hi. Hey, we're here. We're here to see, and I named the name. Right? And then they're going, who? I said, yeah, we're here to see, we're from the movement too, from the church, Who? Who? I'm going, oh my gosh, are we at the wrong address? I said, are you not? Oh, no, we are. I said, you don't know this pastor? Well, anyway, we ended up being invited in, okay? Went up the stairs. There was a kitchen there. We were never asked to sit down. Would you like something to drink? Let's sit down and talk a little or whatever. There were a few people, for 4 or 5 people there. They didn't, none of them. I could not tell you one name of these people because none of them introduced themselves. I felt like I was in hostile territory. Yes, that is the truth, my dear people. I'm not just saying it because there's this stuff going around now. Oh, they're selling our property. This, first of all, it's not my property. I don't know whose property it is, but I'm sure somebody is the owner of it. And if they want to sell it, well, so be it. Renters need to get out. Done. I'm not going to go, hey, you want to go and change the law? Well, go ahead. But the law is the law, and that is that. Okay? When it comes to that kind of stuff. Anyway, we were there for about 15 minutes. Nobody said, oh, let's find out where you're supposed to be at. Okay? Let's just sit. Do you want to just stay here tonight? Right? And we'll have a little dinner and we'll talk and this and that, No, nothing. It was anyway, 15 minutes. And I said, oh, okay, I guess we're here in the wrong place. It's okay. I would never, if someone were to show up and say, hey, would never treat a member of my congregation like that at my own house. And I was treated like that at one of our churches. Yeah. I left. Okay, I can't say that they were just, you could tell they didn't want us. It's like, what the hell did these people do here, Okay, see ya. Like they didn't trust us or something. I don't know. Maybe we had a long drive, maybe we didn't look so chipper and all dressed up and I don't know what. 15 minutes later, we were back out. And I told my friend that was with us, I said, man, I'm sorry. I said, that was the most hostile